All right, yo. So this bootleg fucking sweet Anita something, yo. Yo, this is what's funny about the left, right? Like, all right, this one seems like she. Now, I guess I'm a white knight for Gothix, but it's only funny because it boils down to everything that's hypocritical about the left. Like this one right here, this fake sweet Anita, she looked like she fucking. It seems like she probably went through a couple of Gothix um routines because she does a lot of spoiler alerts. She's basically saying shit that Gothix is gonna say before she even says it, or she's like, "Oh yeah, this is how she's gonna explain it." Da 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 da. But whatever. That's not the silly shit about this. The stupid shit about this is that everything has to come down to research. Like, spoiler alert, this chick talks about, oh, I don't want to hear anything from you unless you have some sort of personal experience, it seems like. But no, she doesn't say it like that. She says research. She doesn't want she doesn't want your chiropractor to tell her that she has fucking breast cancer because he didn't do the research. So if he did do the fucking research, you would allow him to do to do breast exams on you? That is idiotic. That is the dumbest fucking premise anybody could ever fucking stand on. And then the fact that you people keep saying, "Oh, fucking, where are your studies? Where are your studies? Where are your studies?" Damn, if she was to be like, "No, I'm kind of involved in the LGBTQ community, so I'm kind of, I'm locked elbow to elbow with them, a few of them." Yeah, but oh, you only talked to a few of them. You don't know them all. You don't know the troubles of them all. So it's like you can't win with you leftists. Fucking smug ass fucking girl. God damn it.
And I know that there's a possibility that they might see this video, which would be very cool, very great, poggers. And I know that there is going to be an assumption that it was agonizing because it's from a conservative perspective. That's not why. It was actually agonizing because there was just so much wrong, like in a row. Like I
in a row.
I was sort of in awe when I watched it, and I couldn't. I prayed to the Lord multiple times to save me. Okay, the Lord did not hear
I don't know why.
my prayers, but that's okay.
Imagine something like that having you so triggered.
So can we? Let's make the volume a little louder.
Pride Month.
Yay! So instead of temporarily pandering to the LGBT, I figured I could instead make some videos on topics that are typically viewed from a progressive or left-leaning perspective. As someone who voted for Trump this past election, it bothered me to know just how many people accused me of being against LGBT rights simply because of who I voted for. And as someone who believes in the concept of two genders, I grew more concerned hearing the words TERF or transphobic being thrown around for not subscribing to this.
Look at old girl cringed already over words. Over words, which I bet you she's neither LGBTQ or any of that shit. She just wants to ride that fucking leftist gravy train. You know,
new LGBT ideology. Notice how I said new ideology. If you didn't know, the LGBT acceptance rate has been on the decline for a while now. If I think back,
do you guys see what I mean now? Do you guys see what I mean? That there were there was like, I'm gonna tell you guys. I literally can't pause on every single thing because this would last for 3 hours. So I'm gonna sort of go over the things I think are the most important.
An hour and a half.
I'm gonna do my best. Okay. So this point that she makes for some reason, she says the LGBT acceptance rate has been.
Especially too, she could have written all of her points down. She could have got all of her points down in one little thing, sped up Gothix's fucking video, and then paused whenever she wanted to retort after she wanted to retort. Not cutting her mid-half sentence, not fucking taking her words out of context. We will see how.
On the decline. You know, she's going to explain where she got this number from or where she got this idea from. But I can tell you guys this is not true. I think I did like about 20 minutes of research. And
20 minutes.
Yeah,
that's all it took.
It's not true. There's something known as the global index, the global acceptance index. And I'm sorry.
So I guess she didn't look at the global fucking index. She didn't look at the global index at all. And it is clearly now 2021. Go.
The past 2 decades, that has just been going up. Okay, it's literally just been going up. Like the queers, just like people are just like
the queers.
The facts don't agree. I'm sorry. They just don't.
Agree. They don't.
And it's really sad that that's the case.
We'll show you one
accepting countries in general have just become more accepting.
The 20 minutes of research that we took down,
even slightly skew this in her favor at all, is that like unaccepting countries have gotten more unaccepting. So countries like Saudi Arabia that are pretty anti-gay have just gotten more anti-gay, but countries like the United States, a lot of Nordic countries, Western countries have considerably seen their population shift towards becoming more and more accepting. This is like from Pew Research. So I just
pure research.
The
Somebody
facts
that
don't get much better
researched
than Pew
all
research.
over the world.
I have like an image
All
because
over
I know,
the world. One person probably.
conservatives don't want to read. They don't want to read. So I have an image here that I prepared. You guys can see.
And I won't.
The
I'm
UK,
prepared.
Canada,
Wanna
the
explain
US,
it?
this is over the past 20 years. This is our opinions about homosexuality. They have just gotten more and more accepted. This is the percentage of people who say homosexuality should be accepted. It has gotten just
More like
better
17
and better,
years,
which is
but-
great. It's great. We
Okay,
should be
you
more
say
accepting
so.
of people with innate characteristics that they can't change that aren't harming anyone. Sounds amazing.
Nah, I don't give a
So that's
fuck
just not
about what
true.
people
But I
do.
think the real like cherry on top is that
Not true. You
her
sure?
reasoning
You
for
had to
this
throw the
is
world into it.
it's just really
All
great.
right, that's cool.
Back 20 years ago, I perceived the LGBT community in a different light than I do
And
today.
she said 20
I
years
viewed them
too,
as
so that's why
happy,
you
fun,
probably
and
said 20
confident,
years, right?
whereas now, as an outsider looking in, it seems angry, combative, and lacking self-confidence. And I'm not the only one that
I'll stop it here before. Did she say anything about feelings? She said observing them. You know, they used to be jubilant people. Now they're a little upset. Let's see what this fucking
feels this way.
biracial angel.
So
has
you
to
think that
say.
the LGBT acceptance rate has gone down because of how you feel
Who said feelings?
about the
I
gays?
think she said observed. I think
Tell
she
me
said
about your
observed.
brother.
He was
Capitalism.
always
I know
making
you
me
people
laugh.
don't like that shit.
The gays?
The
It's really
gays?
sad,
Keep
but
saying
like
that sounds
unironically,
conscious.
facts don't care about your feelings. Like these are very,
But
very
she didn't
basic
say nothing
concepts.
about feelings.
Like there are no
Nothing about feelings.
studies that I have
Nothing
seen
about
that
feelings.
show.
She said
this
she
opinion.
observed. She's observing
No,
these people.
it's very strange.
the best part of it's the
Well,
best
I feel
type
like
of
the gays
research.
have been
The gays. She keeps saying that shit too, yo. What the fuck? Holy shit. That's like some old 1970s fucking racial, not even racial epithet, but some crazy epithets right there being tossed around. So what are you, a queer? Holy shit. But again, yo, she never said anything about feelings. She said, yo, I observed the LGBT community and I've noticed. Nothing about feelings, but go on, girl. I'll
less
let this
confident.
let's
You know, I feel
tell
like the gays
you
used to be
about
so
your
confident.
feelings.
So they must
Yeah,
be
they
getting
used
less
to be.
accepted in society, right? Okay, let's keep going.
What?
In fact,
do you- so
many
you have
of the
nothing to say
LGBT
about
whom I've
that?
spoken with within the last year have told me that they don't even consider themselves to be a part of
Okay,
the
so she
community
talked.
in
She
the same
talked
way
to-
I don't
she
consider
talked to her.
myself to be a part of
I wonder how many LGBT people she's gonna say she talked to.
the black community. Yes, I'm black, and yes, they're gay, but our own respective groups seem to have certain ideologies that are divisive and oftentimes self-deprecating. I believe that it's this new ideology that's hurting
nothing
the
about her
acceptance
knowing
more than hate
gay
crimes and
people or
discrimination.
anything?
So
Huh?
for this series, I
People that she
Okay,
talked
so let's
to,
keep
that's
track
not
of a
enough for
couple
you?
things. It's very strange to hear about how the left is divisive, considering that like the right literally can't decide if they
So nothing
accept
about
gay
the
marriage or
people that
not.
she talked to.
Or if they even accept like the Browns.
Nothing
I mean,
about the
they don't
people
even,
that she
they don't
talked
even,
to.
They don't even know. They're pretty divisive.
Nothing about
Need
the
we look
people
any
that she
further
talked
than that
to.
one debate between Blair White and what was her name?
Just one
Lauren
debate.
something? That woman? Like that conversation. Truly,
debate.
it's just that the problem is the
One debate.
leftists tend to argue in the public space and the rightoids don't.
What?
They just don't.
What
So
do
you
you
don't
mean?
actually see the
What do you
divisiveness
mean
of
by that?
rightoids as often.
I don't know what that
She also
means.
talks
I
about
see
this
a lot
like
of
new
on the
ideology
right.
of LGBT, which is I think a term that she just coined
But we ain't got.
her.
So we're not going to talk about or reference the, gay people that she talked to about their community. Absence
for
of
some
feelings.
reason, and she explains it later, but it's not much better.
Okay, but nothing about
Like
the
her
gay people
definition of
that
this,
she
and
knows.
we'll get into it later, is that like
Yeah.
the new
No, but what about the gay people that she
ideology
talked
is that
about?
the
What about
the
the gay
queers
people
want to be
she
accepted
talked
in
to?
society, and that they expect
What did the get about the
other
queer
people to
people she
respect them.
talked to? What
and
about
that's
the
her
queer
description
people
of what
she
like the
talked
new
to?
ideology is, which anyone who's
What
done any
about the
research
queer
into the
people
queer
she
community would
talked to?
know this has been a goal from the beginning.
What?
So
What about the queer
we'll
people
get to
she
that.
talked
We'll
to?
get to that later, though. All right.
No, you won't.
I decided to kick it off with one of the most touchy subjects as it pertains to the LGBT, and that is the trans agenda. Now, I aim to do two things with these videos. Number one is to highlight different perspectives that are normally ignored as it pertains to issues within the LGBT. This is very important because if you're saying that you support that
No
community, but
substance.
Okay. Her reasoning behind
Okay.
making this video that she claims is that she wants to show people different perspectives.
She claims. Isn't that
You know,
what she's doing?
I would say maybe if you aren't going to do the research, your opinion.
She talks to people in the LGB, whatever the fuck it is, community, bro. You can't do any more research than that. Holy shit. I mean, yeah, opposed to talking to other gay people, but shit, she is still talking to the community, people in the community. What the fuck, yo? Stats are not people. They can show you probably the path of people, but it does not show people. Holy fucking shit, Doug.
Isn't as valuable. I don't think
It's
I
not as
want
valuable.
like a chiropractor telling me whether or not I have breast cancer, or
Unless
if I have
he
a
did
brain tumor,
research
or if
on
I
it.
need surgery. I probably don't want like a teacher telling me that I
Unless
need
they
a
did
heart
the
surgery or
research.
trying to perform one on me, because they
Unless they
haven't
did the
done any research
research.
onto any of those things. I'd
Any
like the people who
research.
do research to
What the fuck is research, bro? So you're saying if your fucking teacher, who probably is a fucking brain surgeon or a heart doctor, won't do those shit on you because he didn't do the research? And opposed to if the chiropractor did do the research, you would allow him just to be like, oh, I seen a couple of fucking articles on Google about breast cancer. I know a lot of things. 20 minutes, it's all it takes. Holy shit, girl.
do
Brain
that.
dead.
And before any claim is made about some id poll,
Stop.
because it's like the card that they always pull, I
Stop.
don't care if you're part of the queer community or not. All I care
Stop.
is
What?
that you can look up Pew Research statistics. That's it. That's the only thing I care
Fuck. Yo, that is the dumbest shit I've ever heard, yo. That is the dumbest shit in fucking life, yo. I don't care if you're part of the community. I just care if you did the research. That is fucking moronic, yo. Holy shit. Holy shit, yo. Holy shit. So she only goes to mechanics if they've done the research. They could have like a 1-star mechanic fucking shit. These dudes will blow your car up. But since they did the research, this girl's gonna take her car. You're dumb.
The only thing I care about is that your opinions are based in fact. That's it. That's
That doesn't mean shit.
that's all
That
I
doesn't
that's all
mean
I care
nothing.
about, all right?
That doesn't
So
mean nothing to you.
maybe someone who has
That doesn't mean
titles
nothing to you.
like the trans agenda, and another title they have, I wonder if it's on. Nope, it's not. They have another one that literally says they want to brainwash your kids with like a rainbow background in the back, or like in the thumbnail.
Because they probably do.
Maybe I don't want the opinion of someone who thinks
do.
these things and doesn't do any research about them. Maybe the perspective is less important. Just a concept.
Yo,
let's
you
move.
are
Let's
so
move forward.
dumb, yo.
Only certain people that
You
believe
lucky
a
you're a
certain
cute
thing,
girl,
and what
yo.
you're
You would
actually advocating for
not
is a
make it in the
political or
world, yo.
ideological agenda. And the
Holy
second thing that I want to
shit, yo.
accomplish with these videos is
So
to
yeah,
try
I
and
researched
connect with
that.
those who might not agree or
I'm on
accept people
Google all
within
the
the
time,
LGBT
yo.
community for one reason or another. Because even if you don't agree with their lifestyle, at the end of the day,
fucking
you still need
shit.
them, and I'll get to that later. So let's get started.
Holy
As I said
shit.
earlier, when I made the decision to
You
vote for
don't
Trump
need
this
them?
past election, I was bombarded with accusations that I hated the LGBT, despite never doing or saying anything remotely close to hateful. But then again,
Look at her. She's cringing so hard, yo. Pause.
Robert,
Look at the pause.
board just
For
approved
no
the plan
reason.
to build your sales team.
That's fantastic.
You're getting
they
cringy.
can work from
You're
any-
getting cringy because someone voted for somebody else. You're fucking stupid.
Incredible reasoning here. Just really incredible.
Incredible
People got very
reasoning.
mean
By
to
who?
me because I voted Trump, even though I didn't call
Yeah.
my local trans person the T-slur. Isn't that weird?
Yes.
So just for this, I prepared some stuff. Okay, just for
Yo, this is fucking crazy, dog. So it's all right to get to be called a fucking all the tropes, just because you voted differently, and you shouldn't even wonder why you're getting so much hate for voting differently. Because you're a black female in the USA, you can't think any other way, Gothix. What are you thinking?
this, all right? For starters, I kind of wanted to make a very good, just spicy analogy, all right? This is the equivalent of saying,
Hit me with
I
it.
got so much hate for voting for the leopard eating faces party, even though I personally didn't even have any leopards that ate anyone's.
Yo, when your logic just goes down to space and you're like, I have no way, I can't take this anywhere. You a moronic, girl. You a fucking moron. How was that like voting for fucking a leopard eating face? What? Yo, don't you know Kamala Harris was putting black people away for no good fucking reason? She almost convicted a man of murder when he was nowhere near the fucking thing, even when he was innocent. But yet you would fucking vote for her because reasons. Holy shit. Yo, that's like wondering if people calling you a slave sympathizer because you hired a fucking president. You fucking elected a vice president who enslaves black people. That's what that's like, you fucking silly girl.
Face. I just voted for the party, and a bunch of people's faces were eaten off by
Holy
leopards.
shit.
But it's not. I didn't
That makes
personally
no sense.
remove anyone's face.
What does that
so I don't know
mean?
why
I don't know
everyone's
what
giving
that
me so
means.
much hate for voting for this
Who
party
did
that caused a lot of
fucking
harm to people.
Trump's
Just
faces?
How can I be a bigot if I haven't personally done anything, even though I voted for someone that
Exactly,
actively hurt
yeah.
this group? It's just so weird and like bizarre. And so I pulled up a variety of things that Trump has done and Trump's administration has done that have hurt queer people. Which a lot of this is going to come in later because there is someone that comes in who is a trans black woman, and they have some life experiences that were probably going to be affected by a lot of these Trump policies, which is why policies matter and why you vote based on
Oh, so you know what trans lady too.
policies,
Everything's
not
good.
based on anything else. The only thing you vote when you're voting for a candidate is their policies. That's it. So a couple things.
No.
Trump's Department of Justice increased the religious liberties that companies and federal agencies can have that allow you to discriminate against gay people because it's within your religious freedom to discriminate. They also allowed his Department of Justice.
It's not against. That's still be that. These are all. You know, if any of these things are true, those are all fucking against the Constitution, bro. Fucking maintain his life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Just can't fucking beat on somebody because that's literally a hate crime. You fucking moron.
Urge
But go
for
on.
the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission to rule that businesses are allowed to discriminate against their workers, against their queer workers. So
I don't know
essentially
what that
firing
means, Joe.
gay people because this is something that his Department of Justice wanted to push
You
for.
can sue for
they
that.
also
They
filed
wanted
a
to push,
statement of
but it
interest
didn't go
in
through.
defense of a Roman Catholic
That is illegal.
archbishop that actually led to someone, a gay man, getting fired. They actually did something that caused, in the real world, a gay person to get fired because he was gay and because it was within their religious freedom to fire him. They also, this one is most notable, they also allowed religious affiliated adoption organizations to refuse placing children into gay homes for no other reason other than they're gay.
That'd be like me trying to get into a fucking a gay club and then they kick me out for not being gay. They're allowed to do that, right? Especially if it's a Catholic thing, dog. Yo, there's a lot of Catholic churches, as you even said, a lot of places are being things. You don't have to work at that Catholic church. You can work at another one or find a different one. And again, that sounds illegal. Holy shit. But
Okay.
You have the research.
That's it. That's the only reason.
But you won't show it up any.
It's okay. It doesn't matter how stable the household is. If they're gay, you don't have to place them because it's within your religious freedom. And then again, the points that are going to come in later have a lot to do with homeless youth that are gay, which is not surprising considering the fact that many people who come out as being gay or trans will often get kicked out of their homes because family members are not very appreciative of that.
You should house them.
Specific HUD-funded programs that are very useful to these gay youths had their surveys cut. The surveys that are required to see how useful.
But notice how she's rambling on about fuck. She probably only cared about the policy where, as her business as a YouTuber, she don't have to pay taxes on $600 now, like they have to do now underneath this Joe Biden fucking regime. More taxes. Fucking Trump, less taxes. Democrats in the House, more taxes. I'm sorry, go. Go. I'm gonna go. Fucking
and
go.
how
Shit.
much discrimination is occurring against LGBT youth. They also allowed that the applicants for homelessness funding are allowed to maintain anti-discrimination policies. Or sorry, they removed that they have to maintain anti-discrimination policies. So basically, if you're like a homeless shelter, you don't actually have to prove that you don't discriminate against gay people. And
we're not showing any of these facts though. The 20 minutes of fucking research that we showed, that was earlier in this segment. Later on, we'll have one black trans, I don't even know if she's black, one trans person come on to the show. They will talk about their experiences like it's everybody's. Gothix could tell you that she's talked to trans people, but we'll fucking ignore that. We'll bring in our one trans person so she could fucking, exposit everything. She can just tell her life story and how
you're basically allowed to discriminate. So these are just like I think 5 or 6
The
couple of
gays?
things that have actually had real life impact on many people in America. And to say that
we
like,
won't show
well,
any of
I never
these.
personally
We
did
won't show
anything
any of
mean to
them.
gay people. I just voted for this guy who put an administration in place that hurt gay people is insane. It's actually incredible. So just wanted to talk about that really
Go ahead.
quickly. Just a couple of tidbits of real cases that actually show how you, by voting for Trump, harmed.
So we can call these people genociders because I believe Obama and fucking Biden right now is still sending drone strikes over to these foreign countries, killing women and children. But that's probably okay.
Gay people.
She's probably all right being called a child killer.
We can keep going.
And most things these days can get you labeled as transphobic, which is really fascinating to me. I remember back in the day, if someone said they didn't agree with the trans or gay lifestyle due to religious beliefs, for example, that was the end of the story. We just accepted the reality that not everyone will accept everyone else. That's just...
Thank you.
What can you buy with one
A
US
concept
dollar?
so simple as that could fucking trigger you. That's nuts,
one will
girl.
accept everyone else. That's just...
What? What do you have to say to that?
Listen. Okay.
Listen.
Sorry, I had to mute someone because I don't want to get stun locked. They're gonna get unmuted by the time the video's over, but I don't want to get stun locked. And you guys know I get stun locked all the time. The mute is not permanent. Now, here's the thing: if you don't want to respect someone's pronouns, if you want to be rude to your local gays, you know what? That's within your constitutional rights.
No, rude to anybody. Fucking anybody. Fucking anybody. Gay people are not that special. Holy fucking shit. They might be special in their own individuality to somebody else. Yes. Not to the fucking world. And this is what I had to do when I went through my shit. It's like, yeah, I understand about the whole thing of giving somebody that respect. But what if that person you start giving respect to turns out to be an asshole? Do I still have to give that person respect just because they are gay? In your mind, it sounds like yes. It sounds like that gay person can berate anybody they fucking want and they have a free pass in the world to say, be however the fuck they want, whatever type of asshole they want to be, and the world has to accept them because they are gay. That is wrong. That is wrong. You do not owe anybody fucking respect. You give it to them out of respect. But if they start acting stupid toward you, you draw that shit back. But no, youngin, I'll let you tell it. Holy shit,
you go ahead
bro.
and use your free speech and do whatever you want. That's fine. Do whatever you want. It is your constitutional right, okay? But there's a very big difference between not being accepted and refusing constitutional rights to other Americans. If you're allowed to use your constitutional rights of freedom of speech, they're allowed the constitutional right that everyone is allowed to be married.
When did she say any of this? When the fuck did she say any of this? Holy hell in a handbasket. I don't remember her saying any of these things. I just heard her say, yeah, I remember back in the day when, somebody said that they were gay and the other person was religious and was like, oh, I don't accept that because I'm religious. That was the end of it. That's all she said. That's all she said. You're going down a whole different
There is allowed to
street,
be unions between two consenting adults. We're talking about the difference between, and this is something that conservatives often conflate. We're talking about the difference between you saying and using the T slur whenever you want to do it, and allowing people to not get fired for being gay and having protection in their workplaces, being able to get married. These are different things. Nobody cares if you want to continue to say the F slur at gay people. If you want to do that,
I don't think she
go
said
ahead.
any of
If
that.
it makes you happy, all
She
we're saying
didn't
is,
say
can we get the
any of
same
this.
constitutional rights that straight people have? That's it. That's the only thing.
Oh, you are gay?
But now the rhetoric has progressed, or
You can't get
regressed, I
married,
should
you know
say,
that, right?
to giving labels to those that don't agree. What does that accomplish exactly? Nothing productive, that's for sure.
This borders slightly on like the term turf is a slur.
Things come to mind when this happens. Number one is I feel a sense of insecurity. And number two, it actually creates more problems. Now, I'm not trans myself. However, if I wanted to transition into a man, I would be doing it for myself. And I suspect that's why others do it in the first place. It's something for you, right?
Remember this argument. Just genuinely remember this argument, because when they bring someone else on, it goes against this argument completely. But we can keep going.
It makes
Does
you
it?
happy,
I hope so.
right? Meaning the opinions of others should be irrelevant in this context because transitioning is something for you. So when I see someone vilified for refusing to view a transsexual in the same way that they view themselves, I can't help but ask, why? Why do you care? Why do you long for people to see you as you see yourself?
Remember that. The why do you long for people to see you as yourself? Remember it, because it is tough. Again, this is another conflation where, listen, if you refuse to address someone with the pronouns they want, it just makes you an asshole. That's it. That's the only thing it makes you. If you want to continue to be like, no, you're not a man, no, you're not a woman, you're just being a dick. That's it. That's all it is. Okay, that's it. This is a very simple analogy that anyone can understand. Okay, if your friend, her name is Samantha, she's telling you like, please, I really like to be called Sam. Honestly, my parents always call me by my full name, and I hate hearing my full name. And so just call me Sam. And you continue. You're like, you're.
That's different. That's different than calling a female a man, or a man a female. Those are two different things. So who's conflating shit now? The difference between changing your name and changing your sex, two different things, girl. Two different things. Holy shit.
Your legal name is Samantha, and I'm going to call you. It's what's on your birth certificate. I'm going to call you Samantha. You're kind of just like a dick. You're kind of just like
that's different.
Oh, like weirdly
That's
like
different.
an asshole for some reason, even though they're telling you, hey, can you?
That's different. That's not the same as fucking Jim coming up to you and being like, yeah, call me Samantha. And then you're like, Jim, I've been calling you Jim your whole life, dude. Why am I calling you Samantha now? Because I feel more feminine that way. And then you're sitting there like, well, all right, Samantha, I'll call you Samantha. Now Samantha starts to be an asshole towards you. Now how are you going to stop being an asshole towards Samantha? You're going to start not using her. You're going to start calling Samantha Jim or Tim again. Start calling her him because he's an asshole. You be an asshole, I'm going to be an asshole. You cool with me, I will probably be cool with you. I will try my best. But also, I'll get Gothix be saying it. yeah, you guys don't like to give people fucking chances.
Refer to me
I'm
this way,
sorry,
and you're
go ahead,
insisting
young girl. We don't
not to
have
call them.
too
You're
much
kind of just
time
like
on this
being
episode.
rude for kind of no reason at all. Just call people what they want to be
Could
called.
be a
It's very-
reason.
Or you
It
can
could be a
use your
reason.
freedom of speech and kind of be a dickhead to people. That's fine. If you want to do that, that's it's your constitutional right. I'm not going to take anyone's constitutional rights away.
And it
And then
sounds like
also,
it.
the reality is, like, when people say
It
that they
sounds
want
like
to
you
be
want
seen
to.
for who they are and as themselves, they usually mean that they don't want people to think that being trans is a mental illness and that they're just tricking other people into thinking like, or like,
No, that means that they're doing it for them. I don't think anybody's going outside like, damn, I want these people to think that, or they probably do. There's probably some people out there that are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fucking go out there and dress up like a girl to fucking try to find some guy. Who knows? Who knows? But usually it is for them. It is for them. It's not for anybody else. And for you to try to force that your feelings onto somebody else is kind of wrong. Even though you were saying that about Gothix earlier, you know, your feelings, you're doing the same thing.
tricking people into thinking that they're a woman when they're really a man in a dress because they're trying to get into bathrooms or something. And these things, these societal impacts have huge consequences on trans people. Like the trans panic defense is that. It literally says, oh, you found out someone was trans and you felt like you were entrapped? Yeah, that's a defense. It's okay if you assaulted or killed this person. They were lying.
I don't think
this
that's how
idea
that works, bro.
People are
That's
need
not
the
how
approval
that
of others for
works.
literally no reason. It's just a joke. The
not
reason
how that
that
works,
desire
no.
occurs is because we can't remove things like the trans panic defense without furthering the Overton window a little bit on this. Same thing with workplace discrimination. I think isn't it legal? I don't remember the exact number of states that it's legal to fire someone because they're trans. That's it. And it's fine. It's fine. It's not a problem.
Yeah, but you have no fucking.
And I also want to make a
where's all
distinction
the
between like
research you was
social
talking
public
about,
spaces
yeah?
and I want to make a distinction between
One
that and
research
like
paper,
workplace
That's all you
discrimination.
needed. Now I'm supposed to
It's
believe
just
everything you
inappropriate
say.
workplace behavior to not use someone's pronouns that they want. In the same way that it wouldn't be workplace appropriate behavior to start calling your black coworkers the N-word.
Boo, boo, boo.
It doesn't matter if you're allowed to do that with your free speech in public. It's inappropriate workplace behavior. And so
Yeah, we'll stop it there.